Namaste. In this video, I'll be sharing with you a series of exercises that are great to strengthen the wrists and increase mobility in the wrists. Now, we use our wrists a lot, even in our daily activities at home, such as picking up heavy grocery bags or pulling furniture to move them around, and of course in our exercise routines, especially for all the upper body strengthening exercises such as push-ups or planks, and in our yoga practice, there are many very common postures such as Urdhva Mukha Svanasana or Adho Mukha Svanasana, upward and downward facing dog, Chaturanga Dandasana, and all the arm balances that require a lot of strength and mobility in the wrists. And working with under-conditioned wrists can put undue pressure on them, which over time can lead to weakness, more and more weakness, and then injuries. So we want to dedicate some time every other day or every day even to attend to our wrists and to perform these exercises, these drills, to increase mobility and to increase strength. Now, the three key words here are patience, progression, and consistency. So you need to practice these regularly to see the results. And you need to go slow, listen to your body, and then slowly adapt step by step and increase the load so that you build strength. All right, perfect. So we're going to begin. Before I start, if you've had any recent injuries or surgeries, or you have any medical concerns and you're not too sure about what to do or where to start, please always consult a doctor before starting any new exercise routine, including this one. To begin, we're going to start with some dynamic stretches to warm up our wrists. The first stretches, these warm-up stretches, can be performed seated on a chair if sitting on the floor is not very accessible to you. I'm going to choose to come onto a kneeling position. You can choose that, or you can just sit in your cross-legged position. And the first exercise we will do is just opening and closing the fingers. Now, what this does is that it increases circulation in the hands, in all the little joints of our fingers, and allows the blood to flow right down to the fingertips. Also, our palms hold a lot of small energy centers, and that activates these energy centers. We're going to stretch out the arms forward, and we're going to make fists and then explode the fingers open. Fists and open. So we're going to keep going with that. And one more benefit of this exercise is that it works on the forearm muscles, and I promise you, you'll feel it by the time we've done a few repetitions of these. So as you can see, I'm starting out nice and slow. And what I also like to do here, and this is the reason I'm in a kneeling position, it gives me a little more height. I like to move my arms down and then lift them slightly over my shoulders and then bring them back down. And now we're slowly going to increase the speed. So we're opening and closing a little quicker. And now I'm sure you can start to feel these muscles work and activate. I've been doing this for a few days now, so I can really feel that burn already. So let's keep going. We're going to take about 2 more breaths and keep opening and closing the fingers like this. And remember to breathe through every movement that you take. Everything we do, we want to do it with full awareness and mindfully. Great, let's bring them back to center and release. I don't know about you, but I can certainly feel that burn here. And shake it out. Great job. For the next warm-up, we're going to stay in any comfortable seat, and we're going to just flex and extend our wrists. So bring the arms forward, palms facing down, and we're going to flex and extend. And we're going to go for about 10 of these. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm just going to demonstrate one set of maybe 10 to 15 for each exercise. I do recommend that you do maybe 2 or even 3 sets of each. Good. Let's go for about 3 more here. 2, 1, and release the shoulders. Good. The next exercise, we're going to lift the arms to the side and turn the palms forward. Now, this might be a very small movement, but what we're going to do is we're going to tip the fingers down towards the ground, keeping the palms facing forward, and then up. Like I said, it can be a very small movement. Just be very mindful. Keep breathing through it. Keep your spine nice and straight. And again, we're going to do about 10 to 15 per set. Take a break and do 2 or 3 more sets. Like I said, for this video, I'm just going to demonstrate one set. Let's do about 3 more here. 1, and slowly release down. Great. And the last warm-up exercise, I'm just going to come back to my cross-legged position. We're going to make circles with our wrists. Now, this is a very common warm-up, and it's great to increase mobility and just to allow that joint to move into its socket. So press all the fingers in, making fists, and now we're going to circle our wrists around in one direction for about 10, 9, 8, 7, breathe through it, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and switch directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Slowly release, open up the fingers and shake it out. Breathe. Good. Now again, for the last warm-up exercise, we're going to make fists. And now what we're going to do is we're going to turn the fists towards one another, and we're going to just flex them in and open up the fists outwards. So away from us, towards us, away. Again, 10, 9, 8. And through the next few exercises, just before we begin, some of them might feel really uncomfortable because it's not something we do every day. So just be gentle with yourself without pushing over the edge. You don't want to feel any pain while practicing these exercises. Let's do 2 more. And then slowly release and shake it out. Let's start with our strengthening exercises now. Now, all of these will be performed in a kneeling position, in a tabletop position like so. However, you have the option to stand and practice them on a table in front of you. So the table's height should be reaching about your waist, and you can press your palms onto the table. That just takes some pressure off the wrists. Okay, so if you're really a beginner and you want to take it slow, that's one option. However, if you're comfortable coming in a kneeling position, please join me. And we're going to bring our knees hip width distance apart. Our wrists are right under the shoulder, so I'm not far off like this. I'm not too close. However, bringing them a little closer to the knees just makes it a little easier. So see where you find your comfort. The first exercise, we're going to spread our fingers wide, palms fully on the ground. And notice what your biceps are doing here. The biceps should be facing one another. Small detail here. And now grip the mat with your fingertips. If I were to come and try to lift your fingers, they shouldn't lift. Okay, so grip your mat, press into your finger pads. And now slowly we're going to start to lean forward and back. So my shoulders are over my wrists when I'm in this neutral position. And then I'm leaning forward. My shoulders are going way past my wrists. Again, go slow. You can start with just this small little movement and come back to neutral. Maybe go a little deeper and back. Again, we're going to do this 10 to 15 times. Make sure you're not collapsing into your shoulders like this. You're pressing away from the ground. You're drawing the lower belly in to avoid this overarching of the back. We want to be really mindful throughout the body. And once you've done about 10 to 15, you're going to release and shake them out. Good. So small little detail, like I started off saying, the biceps are facing one another when you're in neutral position. When you go forward, the biceps are slowly starting to point forward and face forward. So the eyes of your elbows point forward when you lean forward. That's a small detail. No need to think too much about these to begin with. Great. So let's move on to the second exercise. Now for this, we're going to start to rotate the shoulders open and bring the fingertips towards the edges of the mat, so the outside edges of the mat. Okay? Now make sure you spread your fingers wide, and we're going to rock from side to side. So it's your upper back moving. My hips are still quite steady. Again, I'm not collapsing into my shoulders. I'm pushing away from the ground. In fact, I'm making space between both the shoulder blades. And side to side. Again, make sure you're gripping the mat with your finger pads. If I had to show it to you this way, this is what it would look like. Side to side. Side to side. And if you want to take some pressure off, you're just going to lean back a little bit. But you do want to keep your shoulders over the wrist so that you actually feel the effect of this exercise. And now, after you've done about 10 on each side, you can hold on one side. Just hold it to one side for about 10 counts. And then move over to the other side for 10 counts. Great job. Come back to center and give your wrists a little break. Give your hands a little shake. Good. And now we're going to go into our next exercise, which is turning the fingers towards your knees. All right, so some of you might not be able to bring the entire palm down, which is fine. If you're somewhere here, you're just going to shift back and just try slowly to bring the palm down without pushing yourself. Once again, go really slow. Wherever you are, we're going to start to rock back and come back to center. If your palms are fully down, try to keep them down and reach back. Again, please go only as far as you can without feeling any very uncomfortable pain, I would say. A stretch is good. The moment you start to feel a pain, you need to back off and just take a break and maybe just move on to the next exercise. So you're going to perform about 10 of these. And then you're going to hold it here, pressing the palms down. My fingers are nice and wide, and I'm going to hold here for about 10 counts again. Once I'm done with the 10 counts, I'm going to release slowly and give my wrists a little circle. Great. We have one more exercise. I'm going to turn this way just so that you can see. And for this, I'm going to bring this part of my hand, so the back of my palms, onto the ground. Fingers pointing towards the center of the mat. My elbows are wide. Palms are right under my shoulders. Now, I'm going to keep my elbows bent softly with my inhale, and with my exhale, I'm pressing away from the ground, trying to straighten my elbows. Again, only straighten as much as you can without pushing yourself too much. Inhale to soften. Exhale to straighten as much as you can without overextending. So you don't want to overextend. A progression in this exercise is to make fists. So make fists and press the backs of your hands onto the mat. Inhale, and as you exhale, keep those fists nice and tight and try to straighten the arms. You'll feel it a little more intense in your wrists when you do so. Do about 10 of these, and then we're going to try to hold here for 5 to 10 counts. Again, taking it easy, listening to your body. And to release slowly, release the fingers, release the wrists, and shake it out. Great. So we've done these few strengthening exercises. For this video, I'm going to keep it to this. And as we progress, we can perform all of these by putting a little more load onto the wrist by maybe lifting our knees, coming into a full plank. So all these can be performed on a full plank, but that will take time. Like I said, patience and progression. Now to finish off, we're just going to stretch out our wrists. So just very easy stretches. We're going to turn the right palm away from us, fingers down, and with our left hand we're just going to guide the fingers towards us. And we're going to hold here for a few breaths. And please feel free to stay here for about 5 to 10 breaths. Again, for the sake of this video, I'm going to just move on to the other side, turn my left palm away, fingers down, and guide my fingers towards me. Relaxing my shoulders, breathing through it, and slowly release. Again, please feel free to stay a few more breaths. And now I'm going to do the last stretch. I'm going to make a fist with my right palm, turn the fingers towards me, and with my left hand, I'm slowly guiding the fist more towards me. Again, if you need a little soft bend in the elbow, feel free to do so. And this is quite an intense stretch here, but it feels really good, and it's really good to add some mobility, some flexibility in the wrists. Slowly release. Make a fist of the left hand, turn the fist towards you. With your right hand, you're guiding the fist towards you this way. Keeping those fingers nice and strong here. Stay here for a few breaths and slowly release. We're going to bring our palms to touch in front of our heart and press the palms together. Press, slowly slide the hands so that they're right in front of the belly. Press, press, press. We're still pressing. And then maybe move the palms towards the left. I start to feel this in my forearms. And slowly move them all the way to the other side. Keeping that pressure, I'm still pressing my palms together. Bringing them back to center. I'm going to release and shake them out one last time. Great job. Thank you so much for following this. I hope that it was useful. Feel free to share this with anyone you feel could benefit from it. I do really recommend that you practice these drills every day. Practicing a few rounds of each of these exercises will take you about 15 minutes, but it's really, really worth it. And very soon I will post another video with the progression of these exercises. So we might do some of these exercises in a full plank. We might include some Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward, upward facing dog, plank positions to strengthen our wrists a little more. Thank you very much once again, and I will see you next time. Namaste.